You stole my design, Ethan! That was my life's work!
Relax, Maya. It's just business. You should have protected your idea.
You ruined me! I lost everything because of your greed!
That's what happens in the real world, Maya. Winners take all.
We'll see who wins, Ethan. You just started a war!
Have you ever heard a story so twisted, so unfair, that it makes your blood boil? This is the story of Sarah and Mark. Sarah had a dream, a brilliant idea that could change the world. Mark saw that dream and saw a way to get rich. He promised her the world, but in the end, he took everything. Get ready, because this isn't just a story about betrayal. It's about how one person's ambition can completely destroy another's life. Before we get started, where are you tuning in from? Drop your country or state in the comments. And hey, if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, now's the time, because what's about to happen next will leave you speechless, and you won't want to miss stories like this. Sarah was a bright young woman working as a barista in a small coffee shop in Seattle. She wasn't just serving lattes, she was brewing ideas. She noticed how much coffee people wasted, half-finished cups, stale grounds, the endless stream of disposable filters. She believed there had to be a better way. One evening, after a particularly long shift, Sarah had an epiphany. She envisioned a system of reusable, biodegradable coffee pods that could be returned to local shops and cleaned and refilled. It was environmentally friendly, cost-effective, and, most importantly, delicious. She called it EcoBrew. She started sketching designs, researching materials, and even experimenting with different coffee blends in her tiny apartment kitchen. Sarah poured her heart and soul into EcoBrew. She knew she was onto something big, something that could make a real difference. That's when Mark walked into the coffee shop. He was a venture capitalist, always on the lookout for the next big thing. He overheard Sarah talking excitedly about EcoBrew to a friend. Intrigued, he struck up a conversation. Sarah, initially hesitant, found herself drawn to Mark's confidence and apparent enthusiasm for her idea. He peppered her with questions, his eyes gleaming with interest. He told her he had the resources and connections to turn EcoBrew into a global phenomenon. He told her he believed in her. That was all Sarah needed to hear. Mark proposed a partnership. He would handle the business side of things, securing funding, managing production, and marketing the product. Sarah would focus on the innovation and maintaining the quality of the coffee. It seemed like the perfect arrangement. They drafted a contract. Sarah, blinded by excitement and naivete, didn't fully grasp the legal jargon. Mark assured her it was a standard agreement, protecting both of them. He emphasized the importance of trust and loyalty. He had her sign away nearly all control. With Mark's help, EcoBrew quickly took off. They secured a large investment, rented a small warehouse, and began production. The initial response was overwhelming. People loved the concept, the taste, and the commitment to sustainability. EcoBrew was everywhere. Sarah was ecstatic. She saw her dream coming true. She was working tirelessly, perfecting the coffee blends and ensuring the quality remained top-notch. She trusted Mark implicitly. As EcoBrew grew, so did Mark's ambition. He started making decisions without consulting Sarah. He replaced her carefully sourced fair trade coffee beans with cheaper alternatives to increase profit margins. He expanded the product line with sugary, artificial flavored drinks that Sarah vehemently opposed. When she confronted him, Mark dismissed her concerns. He accused her of being too idealistic and out of touch with the market. He reminded her that he was the one who had made EcoBrew successful. The tension between them grew. Sarah felt increasingly isolated and marginalized. She was no longer involved in the day-to-day operations. Mark had effectively sidelined her.
Then came the lawsuits. Customers started complaining about the inferior coffee and the misleading marketing claims. EcoBrew's reputation was tarnished. Sarah was devastated. She had warned Mark about cutting corners, but he hadn't listened. Now everything she had worked for was crumbling around her. Mark saw the lawsuits as an opportunity. He approached Sarah with a proposition. He would buy out her share of the company. He argued that she was too emotionally invested and that he was the only one who could salvage EcoBrew. Sarah refused. EcoBrew was her creation, her passion. She wouldn't let him take it away from her. But Mark had anticipated her resistance. He reminded her of the contract she had signed, the one she hadn't fully understood. He pointed out the clauses that gave him almost complete control over the company's future. He threatened to ruin her reputation, to expose her alleged incompetence and lack of business acumen. He said no one would ever believe her side of the story. Sarah was trapped. She had no money for a lawyer, no resources to fight him. She was forced to sell her share of EcoBrew to Mark for a pittance. With Sarah gone, Mark completely transformed EcoBrew. He abandoned the commitment to sustainability, focusing solely on maximizing profits. He sold the company to a large multinational corporation, pocketing a massive fortune. Sarah watched in horror as her dream was twisted and exploited. EcoBrew became a symbol of corporate greed and environmental irresponsibility. She was left with nothing. Her reputation was in tatters, her savings were depleted, and her heart was broken. She struggled to find work, haunted by the failure of EcoBrew. Mark, on the other hand, lived a life of luxury. He bought a mansion, a yacht, and all the trappings of wealth. He never looked back, never acknowledged the damage he had caused.
Slowly, painstakingly, she started a new venture. This time, she was more cautious, more informed, and more determined than ever. She surrounded herself with people she trusted, people who shared her values. She called it Ethical Brew. Ethical Brew was different. It was built on a foundation of transparency, fairness, and environmental responsibility. Sarah was meticulous about every detail, from sourcing the coffee beans to packaging the product. Word of mouth spread quickly. People were drawn to Sarah's story and her commitment to ethical business practices. Ethical Brew became a symbol of hope and resilience. Eventually, Ethical Brew surpassed EcoBrew in popularity and impact. Sarah proved that it was possible to be successful without compromising her values. Mark, meanwhile, saw his reputation tarnished as his business practices were exposed. The corporation he sold EcoBrew to faced numerous lawsuits and boycotts. His fortune dwindled. Sarah never sought revenge. She simply focused on building a better future. She showed the world that even after being betrayed and destroyed, it was possible to rise again. What did you think of Sarah's story? Have you ever experienced betrayal or had someone try to take advantage of you? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And if you found this story inspiring, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories of resilience and redemption.